Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Got something new from my metal lathe to work on wood rings, and that's a new 4-jaw chuck. So let's go in the shop and check it out. Alright, I got the typical 3-jaw chuck on my lathe, and it's great for round things, bar stock or metal. But even if I change it around so it's using the inside jaws, it's just not going to hold my ring cores like I want, because they're different size, sort of square-ish. Some of them are kind of more rectangular, and so this is just not the right tool. So what I want to do is put a 4-jaw chuck on here that has independent jaw adjustment, so you can pull each jaw in separately and hold different size pieces of wood securely. So my lathe has an 80mm chuck, which is with 3 mounting bolts. And so what I got here is a San-O 80mm 4-jaw chuck that says it's got 3 mounting bolts. So it should be just a mount right on the existing mounting bolts. That's what I'm hoping, that I don't have to get an adapter plate or anything like that. Should be pretty much just a bolt-on update. Alright, let's just open him up. Alright, oh, I've got a new chuck key, which is different than my other chuck key. This looks like it's a lot smaller little inset, and some mounting bolts, 3 mounting bolts, so that's pretty much what I was hoping for. And then the chuck. Ooh, this is pretty nice. I don't think there's anything else in there. Nope, nothing else in the box. Alright, so this is an independent jaw or chuck. So I can pull this one out and put it back in. And then I turn it and pull this one out and put it back in. And probably the biggest thing about these is it's kind of a pain to center up. If you just want to turn something that is round, then it becomes kind of a challenge, because you have to get this thing, all these jaws all aligned in the same spot, and or get your piece aligned so it's not wobbling around. Because you can do that. You can actually adjust these jaws so you put a round piece in it. It cut an eccentric, almost like a cam, and that would be kind of fun to do, but not really what I'm planning on doing. What I'm planning on doing is putting wooden pieces in here to make ring insets. So actually, these jaws, looks like it's got just one set of jaws, but the jaws, I'm sure, I don't know if they're reversible. I don't think they're reversible. Can you reverse these jaws? Let me pull one of them out. Because the scroll, well, I guess because it doesn't have a scroll like a normal chuck does, where all 3 jaws are independent and you have to put them in. Yeah, that's right. So this is reversible, so I could put it like this and hold it inside. Alright, I'll put it back in there. Let's go see how it looks, how it sizes up. Oh, first thing, let's take a look at it. Yep, it's got the 3 mounting bolts, so I'm hoping that'll be the same as my existing chuck. Okay, here's my existing chuck and the new chuck, and he's the same size, so I'm sure he's going to mount right up. I'm going to have great luck and a lot of work. Now we got to loosen these nuts, and I have taken a awl here and kind of scratched a witness mark right here in alignment with the #1 jaw, so that if I put this guy back on, I can put him back on in the same orientation, because I'm sure he's been balanced or whatever. And to do this, what I'm going to do is just take a piece of scrap wood. I'm not sure if I'm going to be blocking you here, but take a piece of scrap wood, just kind of chuck him up, just like that, so he at least has a little bit of tightness down on a couple of the jaws. And then that way I've got some leverage. And then I can just take these guys without trying to grab that with my hand. And just take this bolt. Okay. And just loosen them like that. Get him down loose. And then, like I said, this is a number 10 10mm wrench that I have to use. Okay, so I can get this one out here. And they're pretty tight. They're not super duper tight, but they're pretty tight. Okay, and I'm not sure if I can get to this guy without adjusting. Yeah, maybe I don't too. Alright, I'm going to put this piece of wood out here. Keep it in the way. And I got the bolts with the little lock washer. Ooh. Alright, that's how we get him off. Alright, this chuck does align really nice with this plate. I mean, it really just fits up, mounts up really good with that plate. And the mounting holes align, which is good, but there's no way to get the bolt in. And I don't really want to try to cut this bolt, and if I did that, then when I got him up here, we wouldn't have enough to purchase into the chuck. So I think I do have a solution though. What I'm going to do is take these studs out, and actually these studs are very, other than this one, they come right out. That's good / scary. And they fit right into this guy. So I just need to get this stud out. And what I'm going to do is take these two nuts, and I'm going to do the old lock the nut against the nut trick. Put down a nut, put another nut on him, and then I'll take this guy, tighten him down, and take this guy on the bottom and take him up. Let me get another wrench. All right. So I got a. There we go. Now we got them tightened together. Pop them right out. Out comes the stud. And now we just take our 10mm socket. Like I said, if you have anything to do with Jeeps, you know these things run away. And then we just lock him. And unlock those two bolts from each other. There we go. Alright, now we just put that stud in. Alright, now I'm going to do that lock trick and kind of tighten these studs in. Just so we know that it's not going to come flying off. Okay, so we're going to tighten that guy down to him, tighten these two together, and tighten that down. Good. Okay, then we loosen them up, and we'll do it on the other two. Before I tighten this stud down, I will show you that the stud is kind of doesn't have threads in the middle, and there's a short set of threads and a long set of threads. So I'll put the short set of threads into the chuck, and that's the way that it came out of this guy. So just so it was the same. Alright, we're ready to mount the chuck. One cool thing is this faceplate does have 4 holes, so if they're like in this pattern, and then you can use 3 holes in that pattern. So if you had a chuck with 4-hole pattern that was 80mm or a 3-hole pattern, it would fit to either one, which that would be good. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this guy in. We should align him with the 3-hole pattern. And then we got our lock washer. Put that on. And the nut. You gotta have skinny fingers for this, man, I tell you. Alright, just got them finger tight. Let's roll with this one. Alright, got him on, tightened, and ready to spin. Let's give him a spin. It looks to be fairly balanced. I mean, it's not as, I don't think it's as critical with a 4-jaw chuck, because you balance your piece with these, not necessarily by just one set of scroll, like a scroll chuck. So let's put in a piece of wood and we'll try some. Alright, it's a little more fiddly than mounting in a 3-jaw chuck, but the best way is to take a piece of, I'd take a piece of sacrificial wood that is flat and put it behind my workpiece, and then get it in 2 jaws that are fairly close, and then tighten it this way. Get him that way, and this jaw. So I get him held between those 2 jaws pretty much like I want him. And then bring these jaws in so they'll hold him. Alright, now we got him good and secure. And that sacrificial piece is so when I'm drilling, I don't drill into my jaws, chuck jaws. That would be a very, very, very bad thing. So we faced it off pretty well. All right, this is the San 80mm 4-jaw chuck. And I got it in my Vevor metal lathe, but I'll be using it for wood and facing off and holding pieces when I'm drilling it out and getting it ready for inlaying. And worked pretty good. And that's what I do. I make rings with wooden inlays from Heritage and Legacy Woods, from the deck of battleships, from stock of M1 Garand, from Major League Baseball bats, from Lambeau field wood, from lots of custom woods that people send me. Please check out hillcountryrings.com. That's my site for the rings that I make. And also, if you'd like to look up some of my other videos, show you the process so far of making rings just using the wood lathe. So I'm going to start using the metal lathe in my ring making. And I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.